Dear family, it's your cousin P, man. You may say, why you out and about? Hey, man, I got things to do before the Niners game. But you know I'm repping so black and so beautiful. But that Niner color, you know I'm repping so black and so beautiful. That Niner color, man. You know what I'm saying? You know exactly what CousinP is doing. I want to talk to you a little bit about understanding energy. You definitely have to understand energy in a way that God produced energy. Energy is a life-living organism. What I mean by that is it has intelligence. Energy has intelligence. Energy is as great, as strong, is as powerful as God himself. And this is why I said wherever there's motion, there's life. Where there's no motion, there is no life. Anything that's motionless is dying. Anything that stays the same is dying. It has to have some article movement or it's dying. This is why when some of us are in a bad injury, the first thing they check is motion. They check energy in the brain to determine whether or not your brain is still functioning properly. And if it's not, they consider you brain dead. Because where there's no energy, where there's no motion, it's death. It goes according to the teachings. Obedience to God's will represents life. And disobedient to God's will represents death. And this is why Adam died in the garden, mentally, physically, spiritually, morally, because he disobeyed a law which represents energy. And if you follow or if you stay in alignment with that energy would take you to places unknown. But if you deviate from the energy, it's what we call it, you fall off. And you begin to live an unclean life, an unhealthy life, an unfocused life. And this is why we always say, I gotta bounce back. I gotta bounce back. Why? Because we lost the energy that demonstrates or dictates growth. But energy is very powerful, is what you must understand, dear family. Energy is so powerful. Have you ever woke up and you heard rings in your ears and you don't know where that energy is coming from? Well, that energy, according to the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, is someone is tuning into you, listening to you, observing you, reading you. It's energy. Have you ever walked in a room and you could feel the climate of the energy, and that's going, and once you tune into that energy, it determines whether this function is going to be cool or this function is going to have problems, depending on what you see and who you see. Depending on what you see and who you see will determine if this party is going to turn out the hopeful way instead of a negative way. You have to be able to control and manage energy. Because in the heat of the moment or the heat of passion, we say and do things and act particular ways due to energy. The energy could be emotional. The energy could be excitement. The energy could be devious. You have to be able to identify what energy and what realm you in. And then you have to be able to determine that if you make the wrong move with let me say this. Ooh, this is gonna come deep. Motion is movement. Energy is movement. But motion and energy without direction is destruction. So when you tap into a particular energy, you have to have definitely have to have some sense of control, or that energy will consume you. You get what I'm saying there, family? If it's an emotional energy, it will take you to places that you can't come back from. You could get mad at something and go kill somebody. You could get mad at something and say something to somebody that you love and you don't even mean it. But remember what scripture reveals. The tongue is the most powerful thing on our planet. So you have to be mindful of managing your energy, because of the words that come out may damage the individual. Where your intentions wasn't for bad, your intentions were just upset. But your words destroyed the fabric of the love with any relationship that you may have. So you have to be mindful. You have to be wise in the hour to be able to manage energy. A lot of people tend to use emotion as an scapegoat or a weapon. They weaponize themselves with anger. That energy may bring up. That energy may bring up a strength in them to move forward on something that they really don't want. And when they move forward off that energy, it's called premature. And this is why I say it's never make decisions based on emotion. Because emotion is all over the place. You have to have logic. You have to, that's why they say calm down. Calm down. Because they know in the heat of passion or the heat of moment, certain people get killed. Certain people you lose. And it's becoming to you that it happens, although you don't want it to happen. So you have to be intelligent and wise enough to not govern yourself with the lack and without the discipline when it pertains to emotion, when it pertains to energy. I tell myself, if you don't know Cousin P, if you don't like Cousin P, it ain't because it's gonna because, wait, look, let me start that over. I always used to say, if you don't like Cousin P, it's because you never met me. Don't go on with nobody else than told you. Man, my energy is the life of the party. I could be a bit obnoxious at times. I could be a bit aggressive at times. I could be a bit too much at times. But you have to identify energy, right? And so my greatness, the God in me outweighs the weaknesses in me, because I'm always working on imperfections. I'm always working on things that upset the people around me, because listen to this, it's better to win the soul rather than the argument. I'm going to say that again, dear family. It's better to win the soul rather than the argument. See, you can always call somebody on their shit when their shit ain't clean. You can always win the argument with somebody in the wrong. But what happens when God gives you the ability to be patient with a person, to understand more than the other person knows? And when the person makes a mistake, or when the person goes astray or off course, or the person does something you disagree with, the energy of patience, the energy of love, the energy of wisdom allows you to overlook certain things, or a lot of things, because they know what you know not. You know what they know not. And so when you do that for an individual, the individual takes kindness to that. The individual takes recognizes that. And the person or the individuals begin to love the spirit in you because of the energy that you give. Oh, I know I was wrong, but that person was so patient with me. See, God is all merciful. So you can't say you love God and not be merciful. You can't say God is my father and not be lovable. You can't say a lot of things in harmony with God if you none of what God, or you practice none of what God teaches. So when you win the soul rather than the argument, you actually winning the person's love, respect, consideration, and they find so much admiration in you that when they do wrong by you, it destroy them and hurt them better than you calling them out. So be wise in the hour, dear family, and be patient, in which I'm using patience, because energy with the lack of understanding, energy with the lack of management, it calls for destruction. I want to tell everybody out there, start to learn how to manage emotion, manage energy, manage it. Don't let it consume you or overcome you. Manage it, dear family, because I ain't hurt no one. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. I could be upset in the next 2-3 hours or lesser than that. It's like it never happened to me. I'm cool as a fan, man. That's why I know that I'm connected to a higher energy that gives me the intelligence to know what's petty, what's important, to look at imperfections within myself, and other people have them, and to understand that they going through what I went through. So I'm slow to anger. I ain't tripping. People think CousinP be tripping off shit. I promise you, after 2 or 3 hours or an hour or 10 minutes, because my happiness comes from making everybody happy. You know, that's just who I am. So when you think I'm worried about something or thinking about something or tripping off, so I'm really not. I promise you I'm really not, because if you tap back into me, it's going to be nothing but love. Like, shit, man, you better ask somebody, man. I'm cool as a fan. And it's because I know how to manage that energy. I don't never allow the weaker part of me or the weaker part of the energy, because there's a strength of all things and there's a weakness to all things. And I never allow the weakness of any entity to overcome the power in me. I hope you do the same, dear family. It's your CousinP. Share this. Hey, all y'all who purchased the So Black and So Beautiful album, all y'all who purchased the Fall of America album. All y'all who purchased George Floyd tribute, all y'all who purchased 104 Children, I appreciate the love. All y'all who subscribe to my YouTube channel and my Instagram channel and showed the likes or the comments, thank you. Thank you. I got a nice phone call and it's paid off of your Cousin P. Y'all stay tuned. Watchmen is coming, and I'm dropping the next video within 2 weeks. Pardon me. I'm doing a new video within 2 weeks. I'm gonna try to knock out this 2. The one is Cousin P featuring Nando. So brown and so beautiful and so black and so beautiful. It's a nice, beautiful song. It's bringing unity in this time now. Y'all stay tuned. It's your cousin P. $40 today, baby. I'm up early in the morning handling